showing up, still being accountable to this beautiful little camera. I wanted to come on today and talk about why. Why do I paint faces? So, from my intro, I never used to paint faces, used to paint landscapes. So, here's one here. I was actually just finishing off a palette, and I'll just turn it around so you can see a little bit. I'm not sure if you can see that. Yeah, so I just decided, okay, I'm going to have a play, and yeah, added a couple of colours, and voila, there's a landscape, because I actually have to do, I've been asked to help someone with a landscape with like a country feel, so that we can get that hot summer day feel, so it can be like a smell that we create with an incense or a candle. Anyway, so why do I do what I do? And why did I paint faces is probably more to the question. I painted faces, and I started doing that back in 2021, late 21 into 22. I came across a Bold School course online, so anybody's welcome to go and look that up, Bold School. It's run by a Canadian lady. She's actually from Newfoundland, and I had closed my business for 14 years, and I actually had no idea what I was going to do. I spent 8 months not having any direction at all. So did a couple of reflections, went really into myself, and sort of went back to what is it that I love to do. I love to paint, but I just didn't feel that I was good enough. So I started painting. I finished off a painting for my grandmother that I didn't complete before she passed away. And then I went on and painted my granddaughters. And I thought, well, they look okay. The proportions were pretty crap, but they looked okay, and I thought I've got potential. And as I said, I kept being accountable online. What happened was, because I'd lost my business, well, I needed to find an income. Obviously, I was going to be a long way before I generated any kind of income from painting. So I learnt how to pull beers at the local entertainment spot, I suppose you'd call it. So I did that for 3 months, and then one night at about, I don't know, I was on my break, and it must have been about 11, 12 o'clock at night, and I just thought, this is, excuse the pun, I'm not going to swear, I'll try not to, but it was effed. And I thought, I've got to do something really different. So I came across this Bold School course. It was quite expensive for me at that time, but I thought, if I don't do something, nothing's going to change. I was very afraid to paint people, never ever could paint them or draw them. I attempted to it as a teenager and just couldn't get the proportions right, you could tell who the person was, but you couldn't get the feel of the person. So anyway, why I'm telling you about why I paint people, this is all the backstory. I signed up for the course, decided to leave that job, then went and found another job, which was great. I learned a lot, and since then have since gone to another job in finance. Finance is not really great for the creative mind, so 2 days a week is plenty. However, yeah, I still need to have a job because there is no income from what I do with my art. So why I painted people was for that reason. What I found and why I paint people now is completely different. So what has happened, I had that 8 months off, and a lot of retrospective thoughts, and you know, I suppose healing is what people call it. It's all that trend at the moment. Anyway, through painting, and painting, like, this is a picture of myself here. So through painting that picture, I learnt to go really deep into myself. I was able to see, once you start to see it come out on canvas, you start to see and feel that person, and in this instance it was myself. But this painting wasn't about me yelling or screaming like everybody thinks it is. It's actually about me trying to find my voice, like opening my mouth but nothing's coming out. I feel like for a long time I was never heard. So this painting is all about that, and I might get a little bit emotional. I hope nobody judges me for that, but that's what painting people does now. And this is what I get really keen to paint people who I know and who I've had a relationship with, because I know with the Bold School they said it's really hard to paint people who you know, but I find it very healing, I suppose is the word. If it's somebody who I know and I've had a relationship, I get to look back on all my experiences with them. Like I painted my daughter, and it was her doing a silly pout and things like that. But I was able to go back through all our ups and our downs and her growing up, and it was like I relived it all again. And so through painting people, I find it such a what is that word? It's not a luxury. It's a real pleasure, and I'm really honoured to be able to do it, because it just, it's good for the soul. So I don't know. I guess I'm sharing my why because I'm sharing it in the hope that other people out there who paint people have the same feeling, have the same experience when they paint. Or maybe it might be something that shifts somebody into wanting to paint people to have that experience. It's extremely deep, it's extremely rewarding, and oh my god, it just heals so much, especially if there's been trauma or someone has passed away. And then sometimes it can just be a lot of fun. And I know when I really, really struggle to paint someone, it's because I haven't connected on a deeper level. So I guess the next video, I might go a little bit deeper about how I get connected before I paint, because painting, it's weird, and I guess other artists get it, but when you paint, draw, create anything, it's like something comes through you. It's like I can't take all the credit. I have the hands, I have the eyes, I have the body, but it's like weird, really, really weird how all of a sudden you finish and you go, oh wow, there you go. And you've gone through all that process and all that thought and everything else, but it's all of a sudden you just sit back and go, oh, fair dinkum, it looks like them. So I hope I haven't talked too fast, and I'm just going to post this, and happy viewing. And I guess I didn't do a conclusion, and none of this is perfect. Oh, and that's the other thing we'll talk about one day, is how I came about, how I sign my paintings, because there's always a little circle at the end of when I finish my work, and this little circle represents quite a lot, so I will share that with you another day. So we're going to talk about connection and getting connected before we paint, and then we'll talk about, having this yen circle. Anyway, have a fantastic day, and thanks for listening if you got this far. And one day when I get confident and I feel I can paint and I can do everything together, I will try to put it all together. But in the meantime, just watch my TikToks and my Instagrams for me, like hyperlapsing. Other than that, I come here for a bit of a conversation. Anyway, it's a shame no one talks back.